Hi everyone, it's LPS Lollipop Productions here and welcome back to another video. So today is very exciting because it is my 1000 subscriber special. So as you may or may not know by now, I'm going to be doing all sorts of things to celebrate. This is going to be a two-part special. So in this first part, I'm going to start answering some of your questions, and in the second part, I'm going to continue answering them, do the Never Have I Ever questions, and have the music mashup. So if you don't see your question in this video, or you're wondering what happened to the mashup, it's all coming in part 2. Before we get started, I just wanted to say a massive thank you to everybody who submitted questions and music videos, and for 1000 subscribers. I am super excited about all of this, and I think we should just jump right into things. Alright, so the first question that I got is, do you prefer dogs or cats? This is so hard because I absolutely love both. Dogs are so adorable and so are cats, but I would have to say I prefer cats just a tiny bit more. The next question is one that I got from a few people actually, and that is, do you have any pets? Yes, I do. I have an adorable cat named Willow. Why don't we go look for her so I can show her to you guys? Hi, Willow. She's like all stretched out in her little bed. The next question that I got is, what was your first ever LPS? All of these guys here were my first LPS. As you can tell, they're pretty old generation LPS, so they've been around for a while in my collection. And one of them is none other than Candy. So the next question that I got is if I have any big goals on YouTube aside from hitting 1000 subscribers. I was also asked what my next subscriber goal is, so I'm gonna tie that into this. As for more generalized goals on my channel, not connected to gaining subscribers, I would say, as cheesy as it is, making as many people happy with my videos as possible. Making things that bring people joy and that they can remember. Also just continuing to improve upon my voice acting and storylines and sets. I just want to make the best videos possible for myself and for everybody else. Also, it's kind of a big dream of mine. As much as I say I don't care about subscribers or numbers, I don't. But I also kind of have this dream of becoming one of the big LPS tubers one day. But we'll see what happens. If it happens, it happens. If not, I'm grateful for all of you who I have right now. Now that I've hit 1000, my next subscriber goal is probably 1500 or 2000. So we're aiming big. We're gonna work our way up that ladder. And Macy's down, guys. What a success that was. Next, I was asked if I share my LPS with any siblings, and no, I do not. I've got an older brother, but he is not interested in my LPS whatsoever and never has been, so it's lucky for me. Next question is, what is my favorite ice cream flavor? Oh, that's a little hard because I love ice cream, but I'll give a few flavors that I like a lot. Definitely mint chip is up there. I know that's kind of controversial to some people, but I like it a lot. I also like cappuccino, even though I don't drink coffee. And then since I'm kind of basic sometimes, vanilla. It's a classic. I love it. The next question that I received is, what is your favorite inspirational quote? So I actually have two that I like. One I'll say first because, you know, it's a classic. And that is, you are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. And then the second one that I like a lot is, it's okay to be a glow stick because sometimes you have to break before you can shine. Next question is, do I play any sports? And the answer to that is no, absolutely not. I am not sporty whatsoever. I am terrible at just about every sport. I was next asked if I'm interested in any art-related work that isn't filmmaking or photography. And the answer to that is yes, I am. So I'm a dancer. I've danced pretty much my whole life, so there's definitely that. And I don't know if this really counts or not, but writing, I love writing. I guess that kind of ties into my filmmaking though, because I write all my scripts. But aside from that, there isn't a whole ton. I like acting, although I'm not great at it. Same with singing. I can't sing, but I think it's fun. and I do watercolors sometimes, so yeah, that's about it. The next question was extremely popular, and that is, how old are you? You guys are really making me expose myself today, jeez. I feel like I'm at that age on Lpstube where everybody either thinks I'm super young or really old, so I'm just gonna get that over with. I'm 14, so yeah. The next question is, what are your favorite videos to make and what is your favorite on your channel? This is so hard for me to answer, okay. I would have to say that some of my favorite videos to make are probably behind the scenes, just because I always write the scripts for those to be very silly, so it's kind of fun to film sometimes with all the different character dynamics. But I also love making short films and think that filming tags is also really fun. As for my favorite video that I've made, I would have to say probably my short film Her Voice, just because I'm really proud of the execution on that one. I think the editing turned out very well as as the camera work. And just the storyline and the twists that it brought, I thought that was really good and I want to make more stuff like that someday. Next question I received is, what is my opinion on Shrek? Well, this is fairly straightforward. He's a complete god, and if he wasn't with Fiona, I would marry him. Next, I was asked if I like Hamilton. I assume that you're talking about the musical, and if so, yes, I do like Hamilton. But I'm not gonna come out here and claim that I'm like the biggest Hamilton fangirl or I love all of the songs, because I don't think I've listened to every song on the soundtrack, which I should. It's kind of sad. But there are lots on there that I do really love, and I wish that I had Disney Plus so I could watch the stage production. The next question is, would I use iMovie to edit? Yes, I would use iMovie, and I actually have in the past. When I first made my return to Lpstube, so the first few months, that was around, I think March or April until maybe June. I then upgraded to Premiere Pro because I wanted something on my computer and that was capable of a bit more. But I would definitely say that iMovie is a good editor if you're just starting out, if you're beginning, or just if there's not a lot that you have to do with your videos. So if you know you don't need a lot of crazy effects, iMovie is definitely a good option. Next question is, what is my favorite LPS aside from my mascot Macy? I actually made a video about 15 of my favorite LPS. You can check that out if you want. I'll put a little eye here. But also that list is crazy inaccurate because I love all of my LPS way too much to rank them. But here are a couple LPS from my collection that I love a lot. The next question is, what made you like LPS? So as you saw before, my first LPS are pretty old, and I've owned those for as long as I can remember and liked them. So I've always had LPS, but I really started getting into them when my cousin introduced me to Lpstube. So on her family computer, she pulled up a couple LPS videos and showed me that whole little world, and they soon became my absolute favorite toys, and I wanted to be an Lpstuber. Next, I was asked if I have any tips to help you get more Instagram followers. First of all, I would just say that you should really remember that the numbers aren't what matter the most. It's just the joy you get out of it if you have fun with it, like if you enjoy photography and stuff like that. But if you do want to gain more followers, I do have a couple of tips for that. One is to put hashtags in your post. So for example, you can comment them or put them at the bottom of your caption. So things like hashtag LPS, hashtag Littlest Pet Shop, LPS community, LPS photography, all of those sorts of things. I know it might seem a little bit cringeworthy, but it actually really helps for people to see your posts. And also I would say to just be active in the community. Support other people, maybe make some new friends, because if you're an active member of the community, people will eventually notice that you're around and you'll gain more followers. And aside from that, it's also just great to support other people in our amazing community. The next question is, why is your mascot named Macy? Okay, so when I named Macy, I guess I just thought that that name really reflected the sort of personality I envisioned her having and her whole sort of look here, you know? So when I look at this LPS, and if you watch my behind the scenes series, you would kind of know Macy's personality. She's very sweet and kind, but she's also a bit of a diva, prima donna, wants to be famous, thinks she's already kind of a star. She is very girly. And when I think of those sorts of traits, for some reason, Macy kind of fits with that to me. Like, I think it's a really girly, diva-sounding name. The next question is, why is your name LPS Lollipop Productions? Okay, so honestly, I never quite know how to answer that question because I came up with this name when I was about 8 years old. But a quick glance at a very old, embarrassing Q&A I made within my first year of Lpstube that is now on private explained my answer for that. So basically, my original LPS mascot was named Candy, and she was one of the very first LPS that I got. She's this yellow cat here. And basically, she came with a little candy shop sort of set. She was in that whole Pet Nook era. I'll insert a picture probably. But inside of that candy shop were a whole bunch of jars filled with lollipops, and she also came with a little lollipop accessory. So adding that with the fact that I really enjoyed lollipops, that was why I added Lollipop. I put LPS at the beginning because I make LPS videos, and then Productions I added at the end because I guess it makes it more unique than just LPS Lollipop, and it was kind of a trend back in like 2015, 2014 to add productions or films or TV at the end of your username. So I kind of jumped on that, and I also said in my old Q&A that I said that because this is my stuff. These are my productions that I'm making for you guys. So yeah, there's that. Next, I'm going to tie a couple of questions together, and those are, what kind of music do you like, and what is your favorite song? Okay, so honestly, I don't know why this is, but I tend to get embarrassed when I talk about the music that I like. I guess it's because I think that other people would think it's not very good. Like, I like it, but I'm not out here saying I have the best taste in music in the world, because I don't. And honestly, I would say that I listen to all sorts of music. It really depends on the sort of mood that I'm in, what I want to hear that day. So for example, I don't really listen to a lot of pop music, or at least not current pop, because when I'm listening to that, it's usually because I'm feeling nostalgic or having like really specific moods. And most of the pop music I listen to is because I liked it when I was younger, or is just older and I like that kind of pop better. Either that or I'm making an LPS music video, because pop music, it makes sense for them, okay? But generally my taste is kind of all over the place, so I didn't really know what to classify that as. Like, what kind of music is that even? So I did a quick Google search of some different artists that I listen to see what their genre would be, and here's the kind of thing I came up with. So it seems that the majority of what I listen to is rock or alternative rock, and basically within alternative rock it's just a whole bunch of subgenres of rock. So for example, some that came up in that were things like pop rock or indie rock, garage rock, ska punk, a whole bunch of stuff like that. Yeah, but in general, the people that I searched for that I listened to a lot, they had alternative rock as the first genre, and then below it like 5,000 other things. And as for favorite songs, I don't know right now because it changes all the time. I have a lot of songs that I love a lot, so it's really tricky for me to choose a favorite. The next question is, what do I film with? And I can answer that right now. So my current camera is a Canon Rebel T3i. Okay everybody, so that is it for part 1 of the 1000 subscriber special. Be sure to stay tuned for part 2 because it will be coming very soon, and I'll be here to answer more of your questions, and I'll have the music mashup ready. Thank you so much for all of your amazing questions and support. I love you all a lot, and I'll see you in part 2. Bye!